words.
Tuning in the X3 for studios. We'll catch you next time on the ride with a 5 1 time for your mind. Subscribe.
Hello there, hello there. Oh, wrong screen. Sorry about that. This should be the right screen. Yes, there we are. You can see the questions. Welcome, everyone. But before we start, I realize we need a picture for the rectangle underneath me. Last time we had some Disney characters. Who are we going to have this time? Please suggest some names in the chat. How are you feeling? Yelena, a new face. Sarah, good old well-known face. Same as Magdalena, welcome back. Insomniac, Lazar, my mom Yatza, and probably my mom too from another account. So we are all here. Hopefully, more people are going to join us later. But for now, like I said, we need to find the picture for the student part. So, who are we going to choose? I'll be waiting for your suggestions. We had some different characters in the past. We had Peppa Pig, we had Mickey Mouse, but who is going to be our next character for tonight? Please be creative and don't use any controversial names. That is important to remember. You can already see the first question. So while we are waiting for the character to appear, you can think about what the correct answer is. It might look simple at first, but believe me, it is more challenging than it appears. So, guys, tell me the name of the character. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Superman. Could be anyone. Could be my grandma. Should I put my grandma's picture there? I believe you're gonna choose my grandma, so I better find her picture somewhere in the phone and mail it to myself so I can use it on the stream. Where is my grandma's picture? I need to find a pretty one. If you choose that. But I'm still waiting for suggestions. I'm still waiting for those suggestions, folks. Batman. All right, maybe my grandma in a Batman costume. That would be something unique. But we're not gonna do that now. We're just gonna use the regular picture of Batman. I think that is suitable. It is suitable and is going to motivate you to perform at a high level, just like Batman always does. So Batman. Let's find a picture of his. Which one looks good? It should be horizontal. Why not this one? Why not this one? I think it's suitable enough. Let's quickly get him on the screen. Yep. The AS Roma Little Wolf. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think that some Lazio fans won't be happy about that, but I like that one too. Let's see if I can find any good pictures for that. AS Roma Wolf. Mmm. Could be. It looks good. Looks good. Could be this one. It looks friendly. Let's go for this one then. A friendly character. Batman is too serious for us. We are a lovely community here. So let me quickly import that, and then we're gonna proceed to our long awaited quiz. We were supposed to have Mauro over, but unfortunately he was a bit busy, so he couldn't join us. So you can thank him for this unexpected quiz. I don't know if you guys are happy about that or not, but that's what we're gonna do tonight. I hope you've been studying hard. Are you ready? Who is ready for the quiz? SpongeBob. Oh, SpongeBob would have been nice. We're gonna do SpongeBob next time then. So we've already added Granny Serba. Yeah, Granny Serba would be legendary. No mascot like Granny Serba. Even though today we're gonna have the mascot Romolo. I didn't know that was the official name of the mascot. Great, Sarah. Thanks for sharing that. We've learned something new. I do like Roma's jerseys. I like this burgundy color. It looks pretty nice. So it should be good now, right? The border is over the picture. Okay, tell me in the chat if you are ready. I'll be waiting for your messages. So if you are ready to start, write ready. Or just write W's, I don't know, anything. Just tell me that you are ready to answer and you're ready to have your knowledge tested. So let's see how it is going to be. Also, I think there should be some sound when I play the questions. So when I play them, please let me know if it is too loud or not. Let me know how it works. Ready, Magdalena? Perfect. I hope you've studied, Magdalena. I know you've been busy recently with all the work stuff and with watching the World Cup final. How did you like the World Cup final, Magdalena? We didn't speak about that. Sarah and I and some other folks watched it here, and it was quite boring. I actually ended the stream before Spain scored because it was just not entertaining enough. It was quite dull. So I hope some future games will be more entertaining than this. That was quite underwhelming, but it is the final, and finals are often tough because neither team wants to lose. Nobody else has written ready. I don't know what the other people are doing. Maybe they're trying to rewatch all the previous streams to see. Boring as well. Yes, that's right. It was boring as hell, I'd say. That game was boring as hell. But okay, I hope all the others will join us and answer actively as we progress. We shouldn't waste any more time because, guys, we have 50 questions. Or I think there are 45 questions in total. Not exactly 50, but close to 50. So get ready, play close attention, and let's start. Okay. Can you hear the sound? And is it too loud? Tell me that. Okay, so here's the first question. I don't really like sweet snacks. I prefer something blank, like peanuts or chips. A, sour, B, salty, C, savory, and D, bitter. Which answer is the correct one? What do you think, guys? You had this one on your screen for a while, so I'm pretty sure that you could have Googled the correct answer. So even if you get it right now, it won't be as impressive. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Obviously, you are all good students and you're going to know the correct answer here without using any external help. Magdalena says B, salty. Yatsa says B as well. Okay, we have 3 Bs. You guys are pretty confident about it being salty. Do we have any other ideas, perhaps? Or are you all sure that it is going to be B, salty? What's the next answer? Sarah says savory. Okay, Sarah, that's brave of you to say savory. You said something that the majority does not agree on. Let's see if we have any additional answers. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds. And if not, we're going to mark it as letter C or B. You guys have mostly said B. Jada 2 says B. So Sarah is the only one who said savory. And I have to say, Sarah was the only correct one. Congratulations, Sarah. W's in the chat for Sarah for not listening to the others. There was an experiment conducted in the United States where they told people to choose incorrect answers to test whether individuals would change their own responses in spite of knowing the answer. So, for example, they would ask them if a building was yellow or orange. The picture was obviously, the house was obviously orange, but the participants would say yellow, and then the some people, in spite of knowing the right answer, they would choose yellow instead because they wanted to follow the majority and not be the odd ones out. So, Sarah, a well-deserved W for this answer. Good job. Savory, let me explain why. It is C, savory, because savory is a category of food. Food is separated into savory and sweet. Salty is a taste. So you could have some sweet food that tastes salty, like salted caramel. Salted caramel is a sweet food, it is a dessert, but it tastes salty. So to repeat, salty food is food in which you can actually taste the salt. So for the most part, you're going to taste the salt when eating salted peanuts, but it is not necessary. You also have those unsalted peanuts, which are definitely not salty. However, we still consider them to be a savory snack. So that is why C is the correct answer. Excellent job, Sarah. Let's see the confirmation. Indeed, C was the right answer. Let's move on to the second one. Please pass me the what? What is this? A, ashpot, B, cigarette plate, C, ashtray, D, glass bowl. What do we call this object? If you watched my Coffee Talk series, then you will know what this is. If not, you may struggle. What do we call this object? I believe most of you know what this is used for. In my native language of Serbian, we call this, well, there are two words for it, pixla and pepeljara. Those are the two words. But I don't smoke, so I don't have to use this for any cigarettes. But what is the name of the object? Is it an ashpot, ashtray? The music is too loud. I'm getting that info. I will turn down the music immediately. Do you guys feel like the music is too loud? It was a bit loud for me as well, so I'll definitely turn it down a bit. Oh, sorry guys, by the way. Oh, I did. Okay, I played it, but you already answered. Okay, you all basically said C, and you were right. It was C. It was C. Sorry for the little bottle from my side. I was trying to control the audio level, and I inadvertently, accidentally played it for you, but it is letter C, ashtray. Excellent job, everyone. Remember that. So it is the object where you put your cigarettes, where you will leave the cigarette butts. So that part of cigarettes that is left when all the tobacco is smoked, and the ash, that's grayish matter that is left after something is burned. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Great job, everyone. Big W's. We might go to the beach tomorrow, but it will blank the weather. Depend at, depend to, depend of, depend on. A common collocation in English that many people struggle with. So pay attention to the answer, folks. What is it going to be? A, B, C, or D? Depend at, to, of, or on. A, B, C, or D? Does it depend at the weather, depend of the weather, depend on the weather, or depend to the weather? What do you guys think? We have a new person answering. Let's go. Miranda says D. Magdalena agrees with Miranda and says D as well. Let's see what the other folks are thinking. Jada says D. Sarah says D. Okay, you guys are pretty confident about it, but to be honest, you were confident about the first question and B being the correct answer, yet Sarah was the only one to get it right. Do we have any people who would argue that another answer is correct? It seems that you are all set on D, and I can just applaud you guys. D is the correct answer, as we're going to see soon. Yes, depend on. So it always depends on something. The only time you can use depend without on is when you say in general, like it depends. If you ask me, do you prefer teaching beginners or advanced students? I could reply shortly with it depends. 3 dots, and then I can think of another sentence to say. But if I'm going to follow depend with an object, then I definitely need to use the preposition on. Great job, everyone. The meeting has been blank until next Thursday because the manager is sick. What happened to the meeting? Called off, called away, or put off? What happened to this meeting? Has it been called off, called away, or put off? What sounds right? Keep in mind that we have the time when it is going to happen again. Okay, I learned what I mustn't do. I mustn't click on the screen. That starts the timer. I nearly screwed it up again. I guess Magdalena has said D, put off. Okay, you haven't put off that answer, I guess. You were quick with it, Magdalena. But maybe others would like to choose something else. This time, Miranda is the one who agrees with Magdalena's answer. It is once again letter D. It could be correct. I'm not saying that it isn't. Yatsa plays it safe and says D as well. Good job. I mean, good job on solidarity, but it might not be the correct answer. Maybe it is C, maybe it is B. Do we have any other ideas about the correct answer? Sarah, Yelena, Jada, do you folks have any suggestions for us? Or should we go for D as the correct answer? Yelena says B. Okay, I like this. I like when we have different opinions. Excellent. So we have one B and mostly D's. Are we going to get any additional answers? I don't think so. And I can reveal that the correct answer is, well, let's see here. It is D, put off. The meeting has been put off, meaning it has been postponed. It has been delayed for a later time. Called off would have been correct if the meeting had been completely canceled. So we don't even know if it is going to take place in the future. It is outright canceled. In this case, it was just put off, postponed for another time. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Despite the loud noise outside, she decided to blank working on her report. Carry on, carry out, carry over, carry off. One of those phrasal verbs we had in the lesson with Milan. What could be the correct answer here? When we continue doing something, do we carry on? Do we carry over? Do we carry out? Or do we carry off? So there was some loud noise, a lot of it that was really making it hard for her to focus. So as she couldn't focus, she still decided to continue working on her report. But what did she do? Did she carry it out, carry it on, carry over? What could have been the correct answer? Miranda says A. Okay, Miranda, you are usually the first one to respond. Great job. Jada agrees with you and she says A too. Do we have any other opinions? Some B's, C's, or D's? Magdalena goes for A as well. Okay, everything is easier when you get that first answer. When one person says something, it is immediately easier to say your answer as well. Yatza says A2. Guys, your performance so far has been A level. Great. Carry on. Carry on means to continue. So I could tell you now, carry on in this fashion, meaning keep doing what you've been doing. You are performing great. Carry out would mean to perform. So they carried out an operation means they performed the operation. Carry over means to transfer to another field. So he carried over the trauma from his childhood. I want to help with the project, but I don't want to step on your blank by doing your job. Toes, fingers, feet, shoes. All right, what could be the correct answer here? This is an idiom, stepping on someone's something. It means to invade their personal space, to offend them by doing something. It is not something you would want to do. You irritate them. And there is a physical action you could do that irritates people, stepping on their what? Could it be toes? Could it be fingers, feet, or shoes? If you ask me, all of them would irritate me. I don't want anyone stepping on my fingers, my shoes, my toes, or by extension, my feet, obviously. Magdalena, good job. You were the first one to answer this tricky question. You said A. Do we have any other opinions? Does anybody think it should be fingers, maybe? Maybe shoes? Could it be something else? Let's hear you, folks. It is an idiom that we had in the lesson Who was it with? I can't remember. I remember we did it, step on someone's something, but I can't remember in whose lesson it was. Could be the lesson with Magdalena. Magdalena, was it in the lesson with you? It seems to me like it was in the lesson with you. Nobody else dares to answer. Guys, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Please feel free to share your answers. Teacher copying is not allowed. Yes, many of the people here could be waiting for others to write their answers first, but I choose to believe my students are honest and they're not looking at the chat. They are just answering directly. Do not know, but if I translate from my language, would be feet. Interesting. Where are you from, Miranda? What is your native language? Uh, do we have this idiom in my language? Can't quite think of it. Well, anyways, Yatsa says A. So we have two A's, and it is toes, guys. Toes are the correct answer. Toes are those foot fingers, so to say. You have 5 of them on each feet. They are on the opposite side from your heel. So remember, these are your fingers, and on your feet, you have your toes. So stepping on someone's toes means irritating them, doing something that the other person would not like. So in this case, a person is working on the project and you may want to help them, but they could interpret that, they could understand it as you invading their privacy, trying to do their job, so you could be stepping on their toes. Georgian, oh great. I don't think we've had any Georgians so far on our stream. Welcome, Miranda. I hope to see you in the future as well. Have you watched any of my other streams so far? Pleasure to have you here once more. Welcome, Lena. Let's see if you can get any answers right, Lena. Good luck. You can't just sweep these serious problems under the. We need to discuss them now. Okay. One point before we proceed to the answers, you can see there is no about. So we never discuss about something. We always discuss plus object in English. Discuss them, discuss politics, discuss education, etc., etc. But speaking of the answers here, sweep under the table, carpet, rug, or floor. What is the correct idiom? So we are talking about the idioms here. We have 2 answers. Let's go. I'm so happy when I see 2 different answers. We have B and C. Magdalena said B. Miranda said C. Who will you choose to follow, guys? Let's see some of the other answers. C or B? What is it going to be? B, B, C, B. Okay, very mixed reactions. I'm going to say that the correct answer is C. We sweep under the rug. That is the idiom, guys. C was the correct answer. Good job, Miranda and Sarah. We sweep things, sweep problems usually under the rug. It means not addressing the issues immediately when you're supposed to, in order not to create drama and leave the problems for later. That is sweeping something under the rug. And it isn't the carpet because it's just not the idiom. Rugs and carpets are similar. Rugs will usually be used maybe in the hallway. Carpets will be on your living room floors, but the idiom goes sweep under the rug. No, maybe I came across recently your videos, so not much. Okay, I hope that you will be here with us in the future. We try to go live every evening and learn English together. So great job, folks. Bravo, Sarah. Yeah, brava. It should be brava. If you didn't know, in Italian, they actually have two words, bravo for men and brava for women. So it should be brava, Sara. Let's move on to the next one. After the severe infection, he had to undergo a blank amputation. Now, severe means very strong, not to be confused with the verb to sever. To sever means to cut, to separate. So severe as an adjective means a very serious, strong infection. And he had to undergo, so he had performed on himself a amputation. Amputation is the removal of something. What could he have amputated? A limb, heart, an eye, or hair? What could be the correct answer here, guys? Sarah is on fire. Yeah. Party emojis for Sarah. Absolutely. Jada says A. Well, Jada is a doctor, guys, so we can all trust her judgment, I'd say. Yatsa said A. Magdalena said A. Yelena A. Dayan A. You all trust Dr. Jada. Let's see if that was the right choice. It was W's in the chat for our doctor. Limb is the correct word in case you don't know. Limbs are your arms and your legs. So they are your limbs. Everything, fingers, hands, upper arm, forearm, they are all parts of the group we call limbs. So animals will have limbs too. Most mammals will have 4 limbs. That's why when we talk about cats, we don't say cats have, arms and legs as we do. They don't. They just have 4 limbs. And even those can't really be called legs because they have different functions compared to our human legs. That's why those growths on the main body are called limbs. Remember, the B is silent. It's not limb, but a limb. There we go. She carefully placed the delicate teacup on its matching blank before pouring the tea. What could be something we put our teacups on? Do we put them on a plate, on a saucer, on a bowl, or on a tray? Technically speaking, we could put the teacup on a... I mean, we could put them on any of these, really. But there is one specific item that usually goes together with a teacup. The little thing you put under your teacup. What do we call that? Magdalena says B. I'm looking at the chat. Bravo, Jada. Thank you, Dr. Jada. A trophy for everyone. Yatsa has a nice profile picture. I agree. I love the love in the chat. A big heart and big W's. I can't show the W. I guess this is the W for everyone. Miranda says B. Jada says B. People seem convinced that it is letter B. Do we have any other opinions? B as well from Yatsa. You are... Well, let's see. Let's see if you guys were right. Yes, you were. It is a saucer. A tray will be that long dish that you use to carry other dishes. You will have the tray when you go to a cafeteria, a self-service restaurant. So you will put different plates and bowls on your tray. A plate is that shallow dish on which you will mostly eat your solid food, and then a bowl is a deep dish for soups or for salads. Some foods that will include more liquid. Great job. Let's move on to the next one. The actor wore a blonde, blank, and fake glasses so that nobody would recognize him. Huh. What did the actor wear? Blonde hat, blonde mask, blonde wig, or blonde helmet? It's my teacher, yes, and you are my student. A great student. Lena got the highest mark after studying with me. I'm afraid of not being the first now, and you all think I'm cheating. No, you shouldn't be afraid of that, Miranda. You have to be brave and say the first thing that comes to your mind and prove that you speak English really well. So don't mind the other people. And of course, we are here to enjoy. So I'm sure those accusations of cheating are not serious. They are just friendly banter. Banter is like playful jokes. So when you make fun of someone a little bit, but in good spirit, that is called banter. So I'm sure that everything in the chat is just banter. C, and Miranda was the first one to answer. Magdalena said C, Yatsa C, Yelena C, Dayan C. It is going to be C, a wig. Great job, guys. No questions there. Helmet is something that soldiers will wear, or maybe construction workers. The mask goes over your face. A hat is an accessory, but a wig is something you will wear to perhaps change your appearance or disguise yourself. This is a restaurant. What kind of a restaurant? Free smoke, smoke free, free smoke with a hyphen in between, smoking free restaurant. What kind of a restaurant could this be? Do you guys have any ideas? What kind of a restaurant do we have? Is it free smoke, smoke free, free smoke, smoking free? They all sound similar, so be careful. I'm pretty sure you know what it should be, but they are super similar. That is the problem. Magdalena was first, and Magdalena said D. Miranda was second, and Miranda said B. Okay, great. Great. So we have two different opinions. Let's see what the others are going to say. Jada said D. Sarah said D. Okay, Miranda so far, the only one who said something different. Let's see, Lena, Yatsa, Yelena, Dayan. Are you guys going to say something different? Yatsa says C. Okay, perfect. We have three different answers now. Yatsa, Dayan said C as well. So we have two C's, one B, and three D's. Okay. Does anybody else want to try? Anybody else want to give us an answer? Or should we just reveal the correct answer now? I think that we won't be getting any additional answers, so let's reveal the correct answer. 3, 2, 1. It was B. Congratulations, Miranda. W's in the chat for Miranda and her correct answer. It is smoke free. Smoke free. Smoking free just doesn't work. That's not how we say. It is a smoke free restaurant. Free smoke would mean something else. When the adjective comes before, oh, we need to go back a little bit. So when the adjective comes before the noun, it means that whatever is mentioned as a noun is free of charge. You don't have to pay any money. So if I say free cigarettes, it means, or no, let's say free sugar. If I say free sugar, it means I'm just giving sugar out for free. You don't have to pay anything. But if I say sugar free, it means that there is no sugar in the drink. So a smoke-free restaurant is a restaurant where smoking is not allowed. So no smoking, you will see that sign, no smoking, smoking used in the context of gerund, smoking as an activity, but smoke-free is the proper adjective to describe a place without smoke. Okay, let's continue. Question 12. If you mix blue and yellow, you blank green. All right, we are talking about some grammar now. You would get, got, get, or will have gotten. What is the correct answer here? Last time we did something similar. Magdalena performed really well when it came to this topic. So let's see if she can repeat the same success. What is the correct answer here, guys? Is it A, B, C, or D? Miranda says D, you get green. Do we have any other opinions? I think you guys don't like this grammar. No other answers. Sarah says A. When it comes to conditionals, you have to pay attention to the first verb. The first verb here is mix, so it is in the present simple tense. That's why the only two options are will get, which would be the first conditional, or just get as the C. So C and A, three C's, Miranda, Magdalena. Oh no, Miranda said C twice. So two C's and one A. Let's see the correct answer, and then I'll explain more. C, get. So like I was saying, if you see present simple tense in the first sentence, there are only two options for the second one. It's either going to be will and infinitive, that would make it the first conditional, or present simple again, like in this case, for facts. So this is a zero conditional for facts. Every time you mix blue and yellow, you get green. There is no other option. That's just how colors work. Excellent job, folks. Let's continue to the next one. If it rains tomorrow, we blank the picnic. What could be the correct answer here? Cancel, will cancel, would cancel, or canceled. Let's see what the correct answer is. A little bit more on the conditionals. What could be the correct one? don't be disappointed, Sarah. It happens to the best of us. Just read the questions carefully. Don't rush to be the first one to answer. If it rains tomorrow, we have two B's, Magdalena and Miranda. We will cancel the picnic. So based on what I told you about the previous sentence, you can conclude that it is B. Excellent. So it is present simple here. It could only be present simple or will plus infinitive. And because it doesn't rain every day and it doesn't rain tomorrow, we can't use the zero conditional. It is only for facts, habits, whereas the first conditional is for realistic predictions, realistic outcomes. Great job. If I blank a millionaire, I would travel the world. Am, will be, had been, were. I think this is easy. I believe we won't have to spend much time on this one. Just quickly tell me the correct answer. What is the correct one here? If I A millionaire, I would travel the world. It's definitely something that I would do. I do love traveling, but it is an expensive hobby. So you do need quite a bit of money to do that. D, were, that's what Magdalena says. Miranda agrees with her. We have two Ds. And like I said, we don't have to spend much more time on this one. Sarah confirms it. Well done, folks. If I were a millionaire, so use past simple in the first sentence and then would plus infinitive in the second one for hypothetical future hypothetical conditions. That is the characteristic of the second conditional. If I were you, every time you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you will use the second conditional because obviously you can't be the other person. So that sort of construction is hypothetical in its nature. If she had studied harder, she blank the exam. She would pass, would have passed, passed, will pass. Okay, again, shouldn't be too hard. If she had studied harder, that is, I believe you know which tense, the past perfect tense. And if we have the past perfect tense in the first sentence, what needs to be in the second one? Would pass, passed, would have passed, will pass. Magdalena says B. Miranda says B too. Miranda was first. Miranda was first. Since you guys are competitive, I have to point that out. Then Yatsa and Dayan, B's. Correct. Great job, folks. I'm happy that this hasn't proven to be hard for you. This is an example of the third conditional. Another hypothetical conditional, this time for the past. So whenever we talk about something changing in the past, we are going to use the third conditional. If I had caught the early train, I blank here right now. Okay, what could be the correct sentence here? Would have been, will be, would be, am. What is the correct one now? Be careful. Though, to be fair, I would probably change the sentence into wouldn't be here. Uh-huh. Yeah. So it should be not. That is one thing missing here. We need the negative one. We need the negative one. Yes, it was C. Good job, folks. But it should be negative. I mean, grammatically, of course, C is the correct answer. Logically, though, because if I had caught the early train, so that means I did not catch it. I did not catch it really, but now I'm hypothesizing. If I had caught it earlier, I wouldn't be here right now. Or instead, actually, there now. It's better just to replace, keep it positive and replace here with there. So I can imagine a scenario like I'm talking on the phone and I say to Jada, oh, if I had caught the train, I would be there right now. So this is a mixed conditional, and this mixed conditional connects the past change to the present result. In the previous third conditional sentence, both the condition and the result were in the past. Here, a past change affects the present, what is happening right now. But great job, folks. You all got C right. Well done. Move on to question 17. If he weren't so afraid of flying, he blank us to Europe last summer. Okay, he would join, he will join, he joined, he would have joined. What could be the correct answer here? Let's see, guys. So far, you've done pretty well. Let's see if anything is going to change now. Maybe this proves to be more challenging suddenly. If he weren't so afraid of flying. Is anybody here afraid of flying? I definitely am not. Maybe before the first flight, I had some nerves, but at this point in time, I'm very comfortable with flying. I can sleep on any flight. It is not a problem for me. Miranda says D. He would have joined us to Europe last summer. Magdalena says A. He would join us to Europe last summer. So we have two different answers. Let's wait for Sarah, Jada, Dayan, Yatsa, Yelena, somebody else to voice their thoughts. We need a tiebreaker. Are we going for A or for D? Maybe C, maybe B. Yatsa says C. Perfect. So we have three different opinions. Okay. If he weren't so afraid of flying, he joined us to Europe last summer. Doesn't sound so great. If he weren't so afraid of flying, he would join us to Europe last summer. Sounds a bit better. If he weren't so afraid of flying, he would have joined us to Europe last summer. I would say it sounds the best. Sarah, we don't see your answer. Let's see the correct one then. Let's reveal it. But I wish we could get a tie break. Oh, we got a tie break. C. Okay, guys. The majority said C. And Katie says D. Oh, so we have two C's and two D's, one A. Very exciting. Let's see the outcome. It is going to be D. Why? Because last summer. So if he weren't so afraid of flying, that is the past simple condition, but we have the result in would have plus past participle, which makes it another mixed conditional. If you guys remember the lesson with Maura, we covered all the different mixed conditionals. We have a mixed conditional like this that affects the general state. So a general fact, this person is afraid of flying. So they weren't just afraid that one time. If it was just a one-time thing, we would have used the third conditional, hadn't been afraid that time. But this person has a phobia of flying. So if he weren't so afraid of flying, he would have joined us to Europe last summer. That is the key point here, last summer. It is not something in the present, like in the previous sentence where we had I would be here right now, I would be there right now. We had uh, last summer. So big W's for all the people who said D. We can move on straight to the next question. I would buy that car if it were cheaper. This means the car is currently not for sale, very cheap, already bought, or too expensive. What does this sentence tell us? This car is currently. I would buy that car if it were cheaper. Which conditional is this, by the way? Is this the second conditional, the first conditional, a mixed conditional? Do you guys know which conditional this is? Mauro says D. The car is currently too expensive. Okay. Katie says D. Magdalena says D. Okay, you guys seem pretty confident about it being D. And this is a second conditional sentence, so you can pretty much know that it is something referring to the car being cheaper, hypothetically. It is not, which means in reality it is too expensive. Excellent job, folks. No mistakes here. Let's continue to the next one. Oh, we have a new topic. Pretty good job with conditionals. Maybe you just need to revise and refresh your memory on the mixed conditionals, which obviously aren't as common as the first two, let's say maybe three, but it's definitely good to know them. The next topic, embedded questions. Could you tell me where is the station? Could you tell me where does the station be? Could you tell me where the station is? Could you tell me where the station does be? I think we can pretty much eliminate B and D. Second conditional, that's right, Maura. For me, it is between A and C. Could you tell me where is the station? Or could you tell me where the station is? Which one sounds better to you guys? Which one sounds more natural? Magdalena says C. Miranda says C. Okay. Katie says C. Mauro says C. Folks, you're on fire. What can I say? Embedded questions are definitely not a problem for you. So an embedded question is a question inside of another one or inside of an affirmative statement, and the usual inversion that takes place in questions is cancelled. So do you know if blank arriving today? If are they, if they do, if do they, if they are arriving today? What could be the correct answer? Good job, Dayan and Yatsa. I guess you were waiting a little bit to see what the others would say, and then you went for it. But good job. Good job. W's in the chat for you too. Let's see. Are they do they are? Maura says A. Do you know if are they arriving today? Katie says D. Magdalena says D. Do you know if they are arriving today? Mauro has changed his mind, and Miranda has confirmed that it is indeed D. Good job, folks. Are they arriving today? Would be the direct question. If they are arriving, an embedded question. I was wondering, blank, help me with this report. I was wondering if you could. Oh, pardon. I was wondering if could you. I was wondering that you could. I was wondering do you. I was wondering whether you could. Oh, so I was wondering if you could is not even on the list. But I guess that's not a problem for Dayan. Dayan has said D. Dayan is leading the charge this time. Yatsa has said C. I'm not sure if it is about this question or the previous one. So we have 1D for now. Do you guys agree that D is the correct answer, or should it maybe be B? I was wondering if could you. I was wondering that you could. Doesn't sound so bad. I was wondering do you. I was wondering whether you could. We have a lot of D's, and folks, once again, you did not let yourselves be fooled whether you could. So in this case, if or whether both function the same. Can you explain why blank so late yesterday? Why did he arrive? Why he did arrive? Why he arrive? And why arrives he? Okay, this is a tricky one. Let's see if you guys are gonna get this right. I'm curious to see that. Can you explain why? I'm gonna enjoy checking this one. And guys, Aishigyu apologizes for not arriving. She said that she couldn't come here and she's staying at her grandma's house. She doesn't have Wi-Fi there. So that's why she's not joining us with her answers here. We have some mixed ones. Mauro said C, Magdalena C, Miranda C. Diane said D. Okay, mixed answers. Katie hasn't said anything. You guys are pretty confident about C. What can I say, guys? I think that you are definitely good students. Great job. I thought that you would be fooled by it. I thought you would go for A. Why did he arrive? But I guess you're studying well. W's in the chat for all of you. Great. I have no idea what time the movie starts. Does the movie start? Starts the movie starts. Pardon, the movie start without the S. So those are the options, folks. When you're ready, choose the correct one. What could it be? What time? The movie start? Does the movie start? The movie starts. Starts the movie. Maybe this one is more difficult. Judging by the lack of responses, maybe this one is the tricky one, actually. We have two A's for now, Miranda and Magdalena. Mauro says A2. Does anybody have any other ideas? Any D's, C's, B's? Look at B, it sounds so nice. What time does the movie start? But to be fair, what time does the movie start is a direct question. What time the movie starts is the correct embedded question. Perfect job, guys. Great job, Dayan. She asked me whether blank finished the assignment. Whether had I, whether I had, whether did I, whether I have. Another tricky one in terms of the verb usage. You have to determine which verb is correct here. So pay close attention. She asked me, be careful about this. We have two B's, Mauro and Magdalena. Whether I had finished the assignment. Miranda confirms it is B. Okay, folks. Yatsa says C. Whether did I? Okay. We're not gonna reveal it till the end. Well, let's see if we have any other opinions. We have a D as well. Whether I have finished the assignment. Okay, that sounds better than C. But is it correct or is it going to be B? It is B. Guys, what can I say? Great job. You are not letting yourselves be fooled. He is really good at blank complex problems. Oh, this is something we did recently. Gerunds versus infinitives. Are we good at solving, to solve, solve, or solved? What are we good at? Is it going to be a gerund, an infinitive, bare infinitive, past participle? What is it going to be here? So this is a gerund, infinitive, bare infinitive without to and past participle. Miranda says A. Magdalena says A2. Do we have any other opinions? Does anybody think it could be something else? No, Mauro agrees. Guys, great job. You are good at solving these questions. Absolutely. You're barely making any mistakes. A new language takes a lot of time and practice. Learning, learn, to learning, learned. Which one is correct here? What can we use as a subject in a sentence? What is the correct answer here? Learning a new language, to learning, learned a new language. Mauro again with an A very quickly. I think you just saw it and you immediately went for it. Sarah, welcome back, Sarah. This is the topic for you. You have to shine here. This was the topic we covered in your lecture. And let's see if you got this one right. You did. Good job. So far, so good, guys. Perfect. It is important blank the instructions carefully before starting. To read, reading, read for reading. What is it? What is important? Is it important reading? Is it important for reading? Important to read or important to read the instructions? Sarah again says A. So Sarah is really determined to shine in this topic. But do others agree with Sarah? Miranda does. Miranda thinks that it is correct. Mauro agrees with them. Magdalena, do you agree with their answers? Yep, Magdalena agrees. And we can conclude that we should use absolutely an infinitive. So after adjectives, use infinitives. She went to the supermarket, blank, some milk. To buy, for buy, to buying, buying. Sarah says B. Yatsa says C. Why did she go to the supermarket? Maura says A and Miranda says A. You guys disagree with Sarah. You are saying that to buying is not correct. Let's see if you guys are right or if it is actually B. Is it to buy some milk or to buying some milk? Listen carefully. Can we combine to and ing? Not sure about that. It is A, of course, guys. It is A. So to buy some milk, when we express the reason for doing something, we use infinitives. Great job, folks. I really enjoy blank along the beach at sunset. I really enjoy to walk, walking, or walked. Sorry. No worries, Sarah. Nothing to apologize for. Thank you for being here. That's the most important part. Let's shine in question 29. I really enjoy. What could be the correct one here? C. Maura says, I really enjoy walking. Miranda agrees, Sarah agrees, Magdalena agrees, everybody agrees. Okay, perfect. Then, folks, I think only the best of the best are left, so we can speed run the rest of the questions. They decided blank a new car instead of repairing the old one. They decided buying, bought, buy to buy. It should be straightforward. What did they decide? After decide, we use one specific type of verbs. We don't use the other one. It's either going to be gerund or infinitive. Which one though? Is it buying or is it... We have C and we have D. Mauro, Sarah, Miranda, great job. To buy, we decide to do something. Perfect. I clearly remember the door when I left, but it's open now. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I remember to lock. I remember lock. I remember locked. Or I remember locking. Let's see you folks now. What are you gonna go for? I'm curious to see. Remember to locking. Lock. It's easy to say. Remember, it's not lock. Lock, I don't know, maybe in some British dialects, but in our beloved American English, locked. D. D says Mr. Mauro. Does anybody agree or disagree? Magdalena disagrees. She says A. Okay, we're waiting for Miranda. A or D? Miranda, you have to choose one. Sarah has sided with Mauro. Yatza has sided with Magdalena. So, Miranda, you have to break the tie. You have to tell us A or D. Okay, Dayan has said A as well. So it's 3-2 in favor of A for now. Do we have our decisive answer, Miranda or anybody else? I'll give you a couple more seconds to write something in the chat. And then if not, we're gonna go and reveal the answer. I always forget there is the delay. Like everything I say only reaches you after a certain amount of time. Miranda has chosen A. So we have 4 A's and 2 D's. Let's see if the majority was correct this time. No, the majority was not correct. W's in the chat for Mr. Mauro and for Sarah, because our Italian pair is the only one to get it right. Good job, guys. I remember locking. Why is it a gerund here? Remember is one of the verbs that can be followed by either lock or locking, but it is also a verb that, I mean, either lock or locking. It can be followed by either gerund or infinitive, but it is also a verb that slightly changes the meaning depending on whether you use the infinitive or gerund form. So we use the gerund ing for memories, when you can recall doing something. For example, I remember watching this cartoon as a child. I remember seeing Jada in the chat last night during the stream. That is how we use remember plus gerund for some memories in your mind. Remember to something, so remember plus infinitive is for future actions. It's to remind someone to perform an action later. Remember to rewatch this stream. Remember to do your homework. It's for the future actions. I just remember there is a slight difference between the two, and now I cannot think of. Okay, well, I hope I was able to explain it, Miranda. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the chat. And also write clear if it is clear. Yes, Mauro, good job. Good job. Be proud of yourself. After driving for 3 hours, we stopped blank some coffee. We stopped getting, we stopped get, stopped to get, or got. What did they do? Did they stop getting, stop get, stop to get, or stop got? Which one could be correct here? Stop is an interesting verb. I often use this example for smoking. Mauro says C. Mauro was correct last time, but Mauro is only human after all. He could be wrong. So let's see if he is right or not. Yatza has chosen to follow Mauro. She knows it is the safe bet. Miranda, maybe following Mauro, maybe on her own. Do we have any other answers? Magdalena, I hope you didn't decide to stop answering after the previous question. Mistakes are an obvious part of the journey. We all make them. Also, Sarah says C. Okay, everybody has said C so far. Where is Magdalena? Magdalena, you need to show up. We are waiting for your answer too. Maybe you will be the only one to tell us the correct answer. Maybe everybody is wrong here. But we are already alive. We have been live for over an hour, so we shouldn't waste any more time. And let's see the correct answer. You were right, guys. Congrats to everyone. C was correct, but stop is another verb that changes the meaning depending on whether we use gerund or infinitive. Stopped getting, if we stop getting something, it means we no longer get that. So if I have a store and we are importing Coca-Cola, I could say we've stopped getting Coca-Cola. Like we no longer get it. It is not imported. If we stop smoking, it means we don't smoke anymore. We have quit that habit. But stop to do something means pausing another activity in order to do whatever comes after stop. So stopped to something. I stopped to smoke means I was driving. I felt the need to light a cigarette. So I stopped my vehicle, got out, and smoked a little. Uh, I'm not following anyone. So I'm not following anyone because in English we must avoid double negative. I am not following anyone, not no one. I am following no one, or I'm not following anyone. People are busy to comment to look at other comments. Yes, exactly, Miranda. I'm just kidding. Like I said, it's just banter, just a bit of friendly banter. I tried blank the window, but it was completely stuck and wouldn't move. So what could be the correct answer here? I tried to open, I tried opening, I tried open, or try opened. What is the answer you're going to choose here? Are we going to go for A, for B, for C, or for D? So far, no answers. Sarah says B. I tried opening. Mauro says A. Let's see what the others are going to say. Miranda says A. All right, so far 2-1 for A. Do we have any additional answers? Yatsa says A. So let's just. Oh, we have another B. Okay. Let's reveal the answer. Team A or Team B? Team A tried to open. So basically, when you try to do something, it is an attempt. So you made an attempt to do something. When you try opening the window or you try you try watching the stream every night, it means a continuous activity. It's testing something over a period of time. So again, try can work with both, but the meaning changes slightly. The new museum blank by the mayor next week. Okay, this is the final topic for tonight, guys. So we only have 10 questions left. We're gonna speed a run through them. The new museum blank by the new mayor next week. What is the correct answer? Keep in mind that it is next week. So that is the key piece of information here. Next week. What will happen with the museum next week. Miranda says A will be opened. Maura says A2. Does anybody think differently? Does anybody think it could be C or D? I think not. People seem to be happy. Sarah has confirmed it is A. Excellent job. Folks will be open. So when we have the passive voice, we need to make sure the verb to be is in the proper tense. So when we are transforming sentences, we will look at the active one and then use the tense of the main verb for the verb to be. As for the main verb, it is always going to be in the past participle form. My bicycle, I can't find it anywhere. What happened to the bicycle? It has been stolen. My bicycle stole. It has stolen, or my bicycle is stealing. I think you shouldn't have any issues with this one. Let's just quickly get the answer, folks. What happened to my bicycle? A, says Miranda. It has been stolen. Does anybody think that? Oh, Magdalena, welcome back. Yes, A, Sarah too. Let's see if you guys were correct. You were. Has been stolen. Bravo, everyone. The Mona Lisa, blank by Leonardo da Vinci in the 16th century, not by Leonardo DiCaprio. The Mona Lisa painted, was painted, is painted, has been painted. Maybe you will have some doubts between B and D. Is it was painted or has been painted? I can tell you that it isn't A or C, but is it B or D, guys? Mauro says B. Of course, Mauro, who is an expert in art, he feels very comfortable in this area. Magdalena says B too. Miranda as well. You all seem to agree on B, and you are correct, folks. It was painted. Why not has been painted? Well, because we have a specific point in time. When it is a specific point in the past, we're going to use past simple. And it's a finished action, so he hasn't been painting from then until now. It was painted in the 16th century, and it's done. Transform this active sentence into passive. They are building a new hospital. A new hospital is building, is being built, has built, builds. Well, guys, just apply the advice I've given in the previous sentence, in the previous question, and you should be able to get the correct answer. Remember what I said about the verb to be and the main verb and its tense. So think about it. If they are building a new hospital, Miranda says B, okay, is being built. Does anybody have a different idea? Maybe the hospital is building. No, Magdalena agrees. And I can say that you guys are correct. Is being built. 7 more questions, guys. The letters blank yesterday morning. The letters delivered, were delivered, are delivered, have been delivered. Again, apply the knowledge from the previous questions and you will easily solve this one as well. The letters, does anybody still write letters? That is the big question. I can't remember when I last wrote a letter. It is so outdated. But I think it is a lovely tradition. I think that letters should make a comeback. However, my handwriting is so awful that I think most people would struggle to read my letters if I were to write them. I have to go. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much for joining, Miranda. It was a pleasure having you over. Have a great night. Thank you once more. You were amazing. Sarah says D. Magdalena says B. The letters were delivered, have been delivered. Let's see. Remember what I said about the specific time? That's why we have to use be, were delivered, yesterday morning. So a specific time. If there were no specific time, we could say have been delivered. The letters have been delivered. Full stop. It means this action has been done. But if we have a specific time, then they were delivered yesterday morning. The medication must blank with food. What do we have to do with medication? It must take, taking, be taken, or took. It's something you will see on your prescriptions, on your guidelines about how to use certain medicine. Dayan says B. Okay. Do we have any other suggestions? Maybe A, maybe C, or D. Sarah says C. I would say that Sarah is on the good track. Let's check if that is correct. It is. Bravo, Sarah. Or brava, Sarah. Pardon. I need to use the Italian version. Brava. Question 40. She didn't blank a word during the entire meeting. She didn't. Oh, that's a new topic for the end. She didn't tell, say, speak, or talk a word. Something that people still confuse from time to time. The difference between tell, say, speak, and talk. What would be the correct one here? Let's see it, folks. She didn't tell a word, say a word, speak a word, or talk a word. What sounds correct here? Oh, Lazar. Lazar, welcome, Lazar. Perfect. You have led the charge with B as the answer, and you are all right. He didn't say a word. We don't say a word. What did he blank to you when you told him the news? What did he say to you, tell to you, ask to you, reply to you? What is the correct answer here? Do we say something to someone? Do we tell something to someone? Do we ask something to someone? Or do we reply something to someone? What do you guys think? Magdalena says B. Sarah says C. Guys, pay attention. What did he to you when you told him the news? Tell requires, and Yatsa says C. Dayan says B. Tell requires a direct object. So what did he tell you would be the correct answer. What did he ask? Again, ask is not followed by to, it is followed by the object. What did he ask you? The correct answer here is say. What did he say to you? So we say something or say something to someone. Remember when I was explaining the difference between say and tell? we use tell plus object, say plus clause, or say to plus object. In this case, you is the object. But obviously, we have been doing this for a long time. You are all tired. Just 3 more questions and we're done. Please blank me the truth about what happened. Please say me, speak me, tell me, or talk me. What do we do with truth? Do we say it? Do we tell it? Or do we speak it? I mean, speak the truth doesn't sound too bad, but is it the correct one? C, yeah, this time no mistakes. Good job, Sarah and Magdalena. Question 43. The teacher blank the students to open their books. Let's confirm this knowledge. Said, spoke, told, talked. Let's quickly do this, folks. What is the correct answer here? The teacher blank the students to open their books. Lazar says C. Does anybody have any different opinions? Do Magdalena and Sarah have? Yatsa says C as well. Magdalena says A. Katie says C. Sarah says A. Diane says D. The teacher, the students to open their books. Let's see who was right. C or A or maybe D. It was C. Why C? Because like we said, the object is the students to open their books. If we had the teacher said, the students opened their books. If we were reporting what the teacher had said, then we could use say. The teacher said, quote unquote, the students opened their books, or open your books directly to students. But here we have the students as the recipients of the information. So the teacher told the students. Once again, tell plus object, say plus a clause, a whole sentence, or say to plus object. My grandfather always used to blank the funniest jokes. Did he use to say? Did he use to tell? Make the funniest jokes or speak the funniest jokes? What do we do with jokes, guys? This is an example of a collocation. So it goes outside the usual norm. It's not about the classic, tell plus object, say plus clause. This is a collocation. So we generally use this verb with jokes. Do we say jokes, make jokes, tell jokes, or speak jokes? Magdalena thinks we tell funny jokes. What do other things think? What do others think? Does Noor think it is B? Does Dayan think it is B? Does Sarah think it is B? Does Katie think it is B? Or do you guys think it could be something else? Yatsa thinks it is B. All right, Yatsa. Dayan thinks it is D. We speak the funniest jokes. Okay. Sarah, if you're there, let's hear you as well. Katie, Lazar, if you're there, tell us what you think. Noor says make the funniest jokes. That's a valid option, a valid choice. Let's find out the result. Tell. So the collocation is tell jokes. We don't really make jokes. We can crack jokes, but we generally tell them. He used to tell the funniest jokes. That's the only correct one. Folks, this is the final question. Can you blank me how to get to the airport? Can you tell me? Can you say me? Can you speak me? Can you talk me? Okay, let's see if you have remembered what I told you about say versus tell. Folks, let's hear your answers now. A, B, C, D. Tell, say, speak, talk. What is the correct answer here? Noor says A. Magdalena says A. Do we have any other opinions? Does anybody else have anything to say? Lazar says A. Q. Q is not an option, but A could be the answer. Yatza says A. Dan says A. Guys, you all deserve the A rating, which means you did a great job. Let's just confirm that it is indeed the correct answer. Yes, indeed. Can you tell me how to get to the airport? So tell plus the object me. Can you tell me how to get to the airport? I am the recipient of the information. Guys, a big round of applause and big W's in the chat for all of you. Let me send those W's for you folks. Thank you so much for being with me here today. It was a long session, more than an hour and a half, but I think we were able to cover most of the things, not all, but most of the things that we had in our previous streams. So make sure you keep attending them regularly. And if you made any mistakes, don't feel discouraged by them. Just remember what those mistakes were and try to correct them in the future. Focus on improving those points. If you have any final questions, let me know in the chat. And if not, we'll see each other tomorrow. Maybe with a new guest, maybe in our lovely coffee talk game. Either way, we're going to keep learning English. Wishing everyone in Europe a good night and everyone in the Americas a good afternoon. Also, people in Africa, a good night. I always say people in Europe, but people in Europe and Africa. And if anybody is watching from East Asia, then good morning to you too. So, thank you so much, folks, and have a good afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world.